Hello, I'm Marcia with Nature's Friends, and our guest today is our friend Jerome. And Jerome is going to show us how to make homemade buttermilk biscuits. Harold and I don't have a clue, so we're really looking forward to Jerome teaching us.
Yeah, this is based on my mother's recipe, but I will be using fresh buttermilk made by Harold and Marcia. And this particular recipe, instead of using the lard, I will be using Crisco shortening. You can use either, but you use it in the same amount of 1/4 cup, 2 cups of self-rising flour, and about 3/4 cups of buttermilk. If you're using whole milk, you want to use 2/3 cup. So we will begin. Then you put in the 1/4 cup of shortening or lard to your choice. Now you can put in a tablespoon of butter or margarine when you make this as well, but I prefer not to because I want it as close to Mama's recipe as possible.
They're always better.
And I definitely have a body that was made by Biscuits, so I know what's going on with this. So.
If you see Jerome and I's bellies, you know that we don't go bed hungry.
I've missed out on a lot of things in life. I never missed a meal.
So you're incorporating the Crisco with your fingers in the flour.
Yes, because you want to know the feel of it. You want the texture to feel kind of gritty between your fingers. That lets you know that you have your shortening or your lard worked in perfectly.
Okay.
And it's a feel that you really can only get by hand. Some people try to do it by spoon, but that only really works with drop biscuits. It really doesn't work with this particular recipe. If you're doing drop biscuits, you can do the entire thing by spoon and just spoon it right into the pan and you're done. But I don't like them because they're very unsightly. And you want to have a texture like that.
Kind of a crumbly. Oh, okay.
It mixed up good, didn't it?
And they say that it will mix almost like cornmeal, but I don't play with cornmeal, so I'm not sure how that really feels. Then you want to add your liquid ingredient into the center, and what you will start doing, and remember this is going to be very messy because it's done by hand, and you're working everything back to the middle. You want to get it well blended. You do not want to overwork it, because if you overwork it, they'll come out so tight you can bounce them off the table.
Make hockey pucks.
That's the only problem with this. You have to make sure you thoroughly clean fingers and fingernails at the beginning of this, because it's going to be a real mess otherwise.
Looking good.
Okay. This is going to require...
Some flour?
No, a small amount more liquid.
Oh, okay.
Well, here it is, honey.
Oh, we have it right here, the buttermilk. You want me to pour a little bit in the middle?
Yes, and...
About 3 or 4 tablespoons.
You know, we made our butter yesterday, and that video is coming on. We got like a pound of butter and a pint of buttermilk from 2 quarts of heavy whipping cream.
Which is excellent stuff to cook with.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to have us a good old Sunday dinner. We've got pork loin in the oven and got our canned green beans cooking, and once we get these biscuits, we'll make us some gravy. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, that'll go good with our diet, Jerome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the diet I'm not on is better than the one I'm on. So, on the interim, before you start making your biscuits, you actually want to clean your hands again so that you don't have more sticking to your hands than necessary. Oh gosh, yeah, she's done away with my cups.
I know. Yeah, I am. So, did you preheat the oven to?
450 on the preheat on the oven.
Okay.
Some recipes call for 475, but I prefer the 450. Some call for 425. Never do it at 350 because you will have biscuits that look like powder puffs. Okay, you want to actually flour your hands because I am going to work this dough out by hand, just like Mom would. And you get the biscuit dough and you work it and you're shaping it, and it's kind of like a tuck under. Once you get it on there, you give it a gentle press. And like I said, you do not want to overwork this. You don't work it the same as you would like yeast breads, because it will just become very tight and quite inedible. But you're doing a tuck under motion, taking the fingers and rolling it around and tucking under so that it comes out with the perfect biscuit. Now, it's trial and error. You're going to have to work at this several times before you get it right and to the consistency that you want.
They look good.
Well, Jerome, this is just like Mama's biscuits. I mean, you're right.
And it's just a very fun thing to do. Even though it's a little messy to do, it's fun to do. Mm-hmm. And when you smell it and taste it, it's going to be just like having a hunk of home. And a lot of people have not had this since Grandma's house.
That's right.
Well, I was telling people yesterday about how you make your own butter. And when we were growing up, we milked our cows, skimmed the cream off the top, and put it in a jar and shook it and made our butter.
Yeah, I've had my days of churning. It's a whole bunch of not fun. But the best thing we could do is turn it into a competition, and you compete with your sisters and brothers, and that was the only way we got any kind of fun out of it. But it's not like kids now where you really have no type of chores to do around the house. Can't even get the little buggers to clean up behind themselves. You want to leave about an inch of space between them. And that way your biscuits will come. I'm going to have to rinse and reflour.
Well, we will get back in a couple of minutes and show everybody what the results look like when we're finished. When you finish making your biscuits. Thank you.
Okay, this is what your pan full of biscuits looks like. If you need to do this for a greater number of people, you just multiply the ingredients so that you come out with the correct amount for the number of people being served. The supposed serving is going to be one per person, but we're country folk. There's no one biscuit. You put it in the preheated oven, which is set at 450.
Okay, we're gonna.
And you want to bake it on the middle rack, and it stays in there 12 to 14 minutes, as some ovens may vary. And here we have some fresh leaven from the oven.
It took a total of about 15 minutes.
Yeah, in this oven it took an extra minute to get to what we wanted.
Yeah,
Make sure you do not cook out your countertop with a hot pan, and you want to brush liberally with margarine or butter on top so that you actually have a usable biscuit. You don't have to eat them all straight away. That will actually help extend the life of them. And to reheat them, you would just simply sprinkle with water and put in the oven at 325 degrees for about 5 minutes. And it will give you a reconstituted biscuit that tastes as good as it did the first time you made them.
I never heard of that.
Well, it's a country thing. It's like you actually learn how to take care of what you do have. Because we didn't have things that we threw away. You would take leftover ones of these, you would make bread puddings, you would make stuffing, you would use it as crumbs for your meatloaf. So it has a lot of purposes, so never just throw them away or pitch them out to the birds. They can be used for other recipes in your kitchen, and you will like this better than crumbs from sliced bread in particular recipes.
You know, I
know.
really want to try this. Ooh, it's hot. It's super duper hot. Delicious. Look at that. It's beautiful. And
Well, I can't wait to eat them.
yes, thank you so much, Jerome, for showing us how to do this. And until next time, I'm Marcia with Nature's Friends. If you have any questions, email us at naturesfriends@embarkmail.com. Thank you.